All right, guys, welcome. Thursday night NFL preview with Fade You for Idiots. We got a guest tonight. Chris Moneymaker has joined the boys to discuss NFL Week 11. Excited to have Chris on. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it, Joey. Good to be here. Introduce myself real quick. I'm a poker player by profession, but I've been betting on sports and gambling for as long as I can remember. I generally share text every week with Joey about different things that we like, and he asked me to come on the pod. So here we are.
That's it, Chris. We appreciate you being on. So let's dive into tonight's game. Let's start with it. We got Cincinnati at Baltimore. Baltimore is a 4-point favorite pretty much everywhere across the board right now. Anyone have a strong opinion on this to start us off? Chaz, you want to start us off?
I think most people that I know are kind of leaning Ravens, at least on the sharp side. I tend to agree if I had to pick a side. It's hard to get to the window in a division game with a favorite of more than a field goal. If I was going to play it, I might look to play first half Ravens. That's been pretty automatic this year. But I definitely don't want any part of Cincinnati.
I respect that. I just want to throw it out there real quick. I saw some stuff earlier. So Joey B is 15-2 against the spread as an underdog of 3 or more. I personally could not look past that. That is an 88% clip for a pretty decent sample size. So I just wanted to throw that out there while we were discussing this game. Chris, do you have Moneymaker? Do you have an opinion on this game tonight, pal?
Well, this game's a little weird because I've already got two people that have reached out to me. One's a sharp guy, and he's told me to take Baltimore, and the other one's kind of like my mush. Whoever he bets, he just always loses, and he took the Bengals. So, I'm kind of skewed already. I have to like the Ravens. I like the over, but I think everybody and their brother does. I think that total's gone up too much. I think it opened at like 43, and it's already up to 46.5. I don't know if I like it that high, but I think there will be some offense. But yeah, unfortunately, just if you would have asked me probably at like 2:00 this afternoon, I might have liked the Bengals actually. But once I get two pieces of information that two people I know that are on opposite sides and one's good and one's bad, then I have to like the Ravens.
Yeah, of course. Can't go without noting that primetime unders are hitting at a 78% clip for the season at 25-7. I also have a strong lean towards the over here, and that 78% is stopping me from pulling the trigger. Duke, do you have any opinion on this game, real quick?
It's funny. I'm glad Chris has a fellow mush. My mush also is on Cincy in the over, and he doesn't really take dogs very often. So, like Chris said, I kind of, like you said, Jody, like, how do you not, does this line not scream road division dog, primetime, Joey B, money as a dog, career, although you left out the other stat that the Bengals haven't won since 1985 or whatever it was. Now it was 2012 on the road at night in a prime time. So that's not a good spot for them.
So the reason why I left that stat out, it's the Cincinnati Bengals are 1-23 straight up at night on the road. Their last 24 games. I left that stat out because it doesn't necessarily apply to this team in particular. It is something to note for sure. Obviously rosters change year by year, so we don't try to look as much into that, but fair point. Kmart, you got anything to add on this game before we move on?
Fading my homer self, and I'm on Baltimore. I'm honestly, if Higgins was healthy, I'd be on Cincy. That's enough for me to go to Baltimore.
Seems to be a consensus. All the sharp guys we know and ladies are also on the Ravens, so seems like the play here. All right, well, let's get into Sunday's matchups. I know myself and Chaz want to talk about Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. Browns have moved to -1 since the Deshaun Watson news. Chase, I'll let you start it off with this game if you want to get into it real quick.
Yeah, I mean, this was on my list to bet at -4, regardless of whether Deshaun Watson played or not. I had the Steelers the last time these two teams met, and I covered, and it felt awful because the Browns turned it over about 5 times and still only lost by 4. So the Steelers got dominated. They've been dominated every single solitary week. They get outgained every single solitary week. I don't know how they're piecing together these wins, but that's got to come to an end eventually. I know you got a rookie quarterback this week. If he can just simply execute a very simple game plan and not turn the ball over, Pittsburgh can't score. They can't score if they get a full field. The only way they score is with short field. So I think the Browns win in a rout this week.
Yeah. Could we agree that Pittsburgh might be the worst 6-3 team of all time?
They're pretty high up there.
They're the Iowa Hawkeyes of the NFL.
That's exactly right.
I can't believe you just said that. I literally said that in our group chat the other day. I said Pittsburgh is Iowa. They simply just play defense, cannot score fucking points.
Nope.
Moneymaker, do you have an opinion on this spot with Cleveland opening as 4-point faves? Watson News pushes that line down to -1. Do you have an opinion here?
I mean, I like Cleveland too, but again, the Steelers just find a way to win. If I would had to play this game, I would just play the under. It's kind of like Iowa; you just can't make the total low enough. The only way I really see a whole lot of points getting scored is on defense. This could be a 7-6 game at the end of the day, or could be one of the classic games that we saw last week with the Jets and Raiders. So,
Yeah. I mean,
it's going to be ugly.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree there. Also, I think it would be really hard to pull the trigger on the over with these two teams, for sure. Kmart, any quick opinion here before we move on to later games?
Sad to say, I like the Browns -1 too. And I think it was +1 when they thought it was going to be PJ Walker. So 2-point swing for DTR, which is it's just kind of funny the way this market's moved. But I was right there with Chase. I was circled Browns -4. So -1 to me is a no-brainer, and it's just defense. Pittsburgh's a fake 6-3 team. They're probably more like 3-6. I think they've been outgained in all 9 games so far this year. It's just unprecedented. They're actually somehow worse. This 6-3 team is worse than that team 3 or 4 years ago that went to the playoffs and lost in the first round, got absolutely waxed by Cleveland with Baker Mayfield. So
my man Baker.
Yeah.
So real quick, does anybody think that Deshaun Watson being out is like a huge miss? Am I the only one that's like, I don't really feel like we're really missing a lot? He hasn't given us a lot this year.
He played well the last 2 games, but mainly like really the second half. So I think they're like, oh, well, Deshaun's back, but for the whole body work the Browns have done, like
you say that, Chase, because for the first time, I actually feel like that line movement. I feel like the line movement from -4 to -1 is justified. I think Watson's worth. I think he's worth 3 points in this spot. Okay, I truly do. All right, moving on. The LA Chargers at the Green Bay Packers. Packers +3. Anyone here ballsy enough to lay fucking points on the road with bum ass Staley? I know I'm not. No?
No chance.
No? Kmart, you laying points on the road?
No. I'm gonna be on the other side.
I mean, it looks like there's somebody out there wants to do it. I saw something like 70% of tickets, so they think the Chargers are free money. So some people like it.
Yeah. Moneymaker, any opinion on this spot?
I wouldn't touch this game with your money. I have no interest in this game. I don't want to watch this game. Don't want to bet on this game.
Cool. Kmart, why don't we hear a little bit from you? It's my understanding that Green Bay is one of your picks for this week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to watch it either. I'm just going to throw my money at it and just laugh when Green Bay finds another way to lose a game. I mean, I had them +3.5 last week, blocked extra point, a BS fumble by the Steelers, called forward pass. They don't get the ball. They had a scoop and score. So, I mean, they clearly should have won this game, and they lose by 4. So I don't even get the cover. But they're 3-6. Chargers are 4-5. Notoriously not a very good road team. They went on the road 2 weeks ago, beat the woolly Jets, 27-6. Looked better than it was. Got beat in a shootout. again, bad defense. Jordan Love actually looked halfway decent against a really good Steelers defense last week. A lot of 30-yard bombs, but still they had 6.1 yards per play. So I'm just going to, think he's going to finally figure it out. If Watson and company can actually be healthy, Green Bay has a solid defense. In Lambeau, getting 3 points. Again, I'll probably cut it in half, go the point route, do the money line, keep the points, and hopefully get some luck. Like I don't feel like I've made bad picks this year and most recently, but I've just
Little luck help.
I've just had not had the ball bouncing my way.
All right. Well, let's turn it around this week here, pal. All right. So moving on to the next game. I'm going to go to my man Hazmat Suit. I'm going to allow him to give out both of our best bets this Sunday in the NFL. Arizona at Houston. Houston -5 at home. Haz, go ahead. Let them know what's our best bet in the NFL on Sunday.
Me and you together, big cheesy. Yeah, we're going to go Cardinals. It's just a spot that long term, if you're going to play the NFL and you play this spot, you're going to be, long term making money with this smash spot. I mean, they just beat the Bengals, a huge, Bengals come back. He wins. This guy's 200 to 1 to win the MVP. Now it's down to 20 to 1. Everyone's on his jock strap. They're coming home. Got Jags on deck, which is huge now because they're right there in the division with the Jags. Cardinals are scrappy as dogs. Kyler Murray, this is when you want to take him. I think I just heard 21-12-1 against the spread in his career as a dog. Those are last time I checked, that's really good against the spread. So I liked it earlier when it was 5. It came down to 4. I saw the buyback come back up to 5, but now I see it just hovering around that 4.5 spot. So seems to be the right line, and I'm hoping that it's just we're getting the Texans coming back home from a huge win and on the road, Joe, and we can get a scrappy dog.
I've heard enough. I've heard enough from this CJ Stroud character. I don't care how good you've looked all season. It is time for you to come back to life here, pal. You do not belong in the MVP conversation, and we will send your odds back to plus 50K after you lose outright to Arizona this weekend. Let's get it. Let's get it, boys. Arizona plus 4.5, plus 5, wherever you can get it. I will also be playing it on the money line. So good luck there if you tail.
So I'm actually playing I'm playing this game, but I'm playing the total. I don't know why I can't think right now. So I'm on over 47. So that's what I slammed just because I'm kind of a little afraid of, fourth quarter stuff. Stroud's looked really good. I'm pulling for you guys, but I'm sure shit not laying 5. I mean, everything Duke said I agree with, but I like this 47. Murray back. I mean, I just don't see how both these teams don't score 24.
I agree. My lean would be to the over here also. Chase, any opinion on this game before we move on?
Hold your nose. That's all I can tell you. I have no interest in really being on the Texans. I think the one thing I would point out is where I think you guys have been pretty good at sniffing things out. The Texans have not had a letdown game this year. They're due. They're not going to look this good week in, week out for the entire year. I think they're due for a letdown. And Arizona with Kyler is kind of a wild card, so I like the spot.
I agree. Chris, any opinion on this game if your cat's not in the way?
Yeah, she has zero couth here, but I like the over as well. I think there's going to be points in this game. I don't really like a side, but I like the total.
I agree, and I also think in order for Arizona to win this game, they have to score 26 plus. So the over would seem to be a consensus play here as well. So all right, moving on. Probably one of the lousiest games of the day. My boy DeVito at Washington -9. Anyone have an opinion here?
This is my favorite game of the day because I don't think the Giants.
Let's get at it. Let's get at it. What is it?
It's the Commanders. They're not as bad as their record indicates. The Giants, they are as bad as they looked against the Cowboys. I don't think the Commanders are that much worse than the Cowboys. They can run, they can throw, they can play defense. This probably is going to be another beatdown of the Giants. I don't like this spot for him at all. Danny DeVito's brother can't throw the ball. They can't. I mean, without Barkley, they can't do anything. So, give me the
This guy
Commanders
gets
all day.
home cooked meal. This guy gets home cooked meals, his laundry done. I mean, I've been reading all about it all week. Lives at
Hey,
home.
if I lived with my mom, I'd probably be a decent quarterback too.
Yeah.
All I can say is the Giants are who we thought they were.
Fact. Sorry,
They
Jay
are.
Buff. Sorry, Jay Buff. I know you're out there listening. Your Giants are absolute straight garbage. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to spend much more time on that game. I knew that was Money's favorite game of the weekend. Let's move on. Actually, you know what? I want to throw this one to Moneymaker as well. I want you to start off here. It is your hometown. Tennessee at Jacksonville. How do you feel about the Titans catching 7 on the road this weekend?
Well, the Titans suck. We know that, but they really hate the Jaguars. This is like this is Cleveland and Cincinnati. Like they do not like each other. They play each other really well. Most of their games are competitive. If I had to pick a side, I don't like betting on this game, but if I had to pick a side, I'd take the Titans.
You take the points, huh?
Yep.
Even on the road, huh? All right.
Well,
Interesting note.
that's why they're getting 7.
I have that one circled. I want to look a little closer at that. I didn't have an opinion. It seems like anyone from the 4 idiots, any of us boys, you guys, anyone have a strong lean here before we move forward?
No
Not
opinion.
strong, but I'd lean Jaguars off a bad loss.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can't go either way on this game. It's not a game I've dove into. All right, let's move forward. Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions, who everybody has seemed to already crown Super Bowl fucking champions. I'm sick of the hype. Detroit Lions minus 7.5. Anyone have an opinion here? Kmart, you want anything here in this game?
No, I got nothing.
Nice and
Honestly,
simple.
like
Fields back,
yeah.
or do we got Badgett or Fields? Is Fields back this week?
Fields.
Fields is back. Yeah, they're saying he's a go. To be honest,
I'll take the Bears with Fields on the.
Yeah,
Badgett's not bad, but I like Fields.
That's what I was gonna say. I think we got the upgrade in quarterback this weekend. Division game. I'm not sold on this Lions game. I saw them live in Tampa Bay a couple weeks ago. Even though they put the beat down on Baker Mayfield and boys and company, I'm not sold on this Detroit team. I'm really not. I've been hearing it all fucking year. They're the Cinderella team. You know, everyone wants to root for them. They're the fun team. Dan Campbell's got them playing at their best. I'm not so sold on them. It would be Chicago or pass for me here. Haz, do you have an opinion on this spot?
I liked it a whole lot better at 10. Sucks that it came down so much, but yeah, I lean that way. Just like I feel like these teams are kind of like Chris said about those other division teams. I feel like Chicago just always plays a little bit scrappy. They feel like they're the big brother, even though now the little brother's better than them. Try to always beat the Lions. So I know you're going to get a good effort out of those guys, and the back door should be open, even if they're down 14. Go down and get, garbage touch. So lean Bears.
Cool. Next game, we got Vegas at Miami. Got Miami as 13-point home faves coming off the bye. Real quick, I don't like laying big numbers, as you guys know, but I think Miami puts an absolute fucking beat down on the Raiders this weekend. I wouldn't be shocked to see this game somewhere in the 38-10 range. Miami is a side I will probably play. Does anyone have an opinion on this game?
I like the Raiders.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I like that. I think he's probably the only one I've ever heard say that this entire week.
We'll talk about that one after the show, Chris. Yeah.
The NFL's a weird league, man. When it seems like something's just not going to happen, I mean, a team is, they're just now getting A-Chain back. They're going to be hitting on all cylinders. The Raiders just got beat by the Jets. I mean, I'm sorry, they just barely beat the Jets. I mean, it's so ugly. But I like the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know why.
you're
I just do.
you-
I don't like big numbers either.
yeah, you've been watching the NFL long enough, man. It wouldn't be a shock to me to see some bullshit, baloney, fucking Vegas shit come into play, where like Vegas wins this game on like a strip sack, fumble, pick, like touchdown. Yeah, like we've all seen it happen.
Dolphins
Miami-
up 35
Two
nothing at halftime and somehow win 35-25.
Yeah, like absolutely. Like wouldn't surprise me one bit. Any strong lean in this game before we move forward? Nope. All right, let's get
No,
it.
I mean, like I mentioned last week, I mean, there's that trend of a favorite of over 10.5 since 2012, hitting at like 60%. So
63.5%. Yep.
Yeah.
like that's crazy. And there's 3 of them this week.
There is. Speaking of another big one, Dallas at Carolina. Carolina seems plus 10.5. Couple 11s popping up on the board on Wager Talk Live odds screen. Anyone have an opinion here? Not a game I'm looking to touch.
I'm a little torn because typically Dallas, you got to figure out which games they're just going to be non-existent and not show up because they do that about every 3 weeks. So they're due for one of those, but they also like to beat up on the window lickers.
Ooh, I'm glad you brought it up.
So
Dak,
they
he's
love
first
to run it
losing
up
team.
when they have a bad team.
Yep. I agree.
So-
Yeah.
I have a
I
hard
saw
time
that.
getting to the window on it.
I saw that. Dak crushes teams with losing records
Yeah.
and gets fucking hammered versus winning teams. I did see that. All right, Kmart, I'm gonna
This is
throw this
one of
one
the-
over to you just because
This
it's
is
your.
one of the poops I like. I'm gonna probably be on this home dog. It's disgusting. They're the
Are you
worst,
really?
worst team in the fucking league, and they just looked like shit against the Bears on prime time, and the Cowboys win by 50. Like you said, on shitty teams, this line is locked though. It came down, wasn't it 11.5? Everyone and their mom's on that, but the line won't budge. Why did the Miami line went up? Because everyone's nuking it. Why is this line just staying? Smells like shit to me. Fuck it. dude.
Line freeze.
Line freeze.
Yeah.
Can't believe you're going to make me bet the Panthers.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably just gonna root for you here without my money on it. Not gonna lie. You know I love you. I go to battle with you 99 times out of 100, but I don't know if I can pull the trigger here, pal. All right, Kmart, I'm gonna throw this one over to you real quick because we know it's your squad. Any opinion on Tampa at San Francisco? Seems to be minus 11.5 across the board.
Yeah, I mean, I know I just gave out that stat for, over 10.5 points, but I would still probably lean taking the points. I mean, the Niners in Purdy's first official start last year absolutely been over Tampa Bay. A lot of the same characters on this team. I know it's a different quarterback, but they can't enjoy that too much. And I'm kind of like Bart Simpson, do not make sweetheart teasers. Do not make sweetheart teasers. I'm just like, don't do it. I've gone in there twice to do it. I'm just like, don't do it. So I'm trying my best not to be a homer and be like, I'm not laying 12 points, but I just want to have something to cheer for. But knowing
How
me,
easy is it? 10-point tease. Niners got to win by 1.5. That's probably free, right, dude?
gotta be free.
Yeah. Welcome to the NFL. Nothing's fucking free. Moneymaker, any opinion on this spot?
Well, I don't like this spot. I like the Cowboys Panthers under. I like that a lot. I think Pollard's actually going to wake up and actually have a game there. But for the 49ers Buccaneers, that game interests me no which way or other. I don't like it at all.
Ooh,
I do like the sweetheart teaser in it. Although I'm terrible at those. For some reason, there's always one that gets you.
My famous saying, it's hard enough to fucking pick one. You're trying to pick 2 and 3. It's fucking hard, man. And NFL will find a way to fuck you. Yep, that's the way it goes. All right, Seattle at the Rams. Rams a lonely +1 getting Matthew Stafford back. Seattle must be fucking free, right, Duke?
It smells terrible.
Not so fast. I don't know, man. They have McVay seemed to have that number. They went up, and it was one of my best bet in week 1. Road division dogs smashed them, and how they come back 3-6 against 6-3, and it's just a pick 'em. I know you mentioned that. I'm kind of I don't want everyone to. I don't think the Rams are going to get a lot of tickets, but I don't want to hear, "Oh, Stafford's back," blah blah blah. I don't give a shit. I liked it, like you said, more when it was this like -2, 2.5, and we didn't know who was starting.
I don't care who the starting quarterback is. Give me the fucking Rams.
Yeah, I still lean that way because I think everybody in that afternoon slot's going to nuke Seattle. But
yeah, they just got to win the game. They just have to win. You know what I mean? Chase, any opinion on this spot? Division game, Rams +1 at home.
The Rams is the right.
Seattle getting lots of love this year.
Rams is the right choice. I mean, if you have a competent quarterback, I mean, here's the thing: Seattle they're very turnover heavy on defense. If they're not turning you over, they give up yards. So you can move the ball on them, but they're looking to turn the ball over before you actually get in the end zone. So sadly, they're pretty good at it. But I would have no hesitation in thinking the Rams are going to move it up and down the field pretty well, especially with Kupp and Nacua both healthy out there. Yeah, I'd take the Rams.
I agree. All right. Let's move on to Jets at Bills. Bills -7, who might quite possibly be the biggest fraudulent fucking team in the NFL. I am so sick of this team. Let's throw it over to our guest real quick. Money, any opinion on Jets at Bills -7 with as bad as this fucking team has looked?
I mean, if I had to bet anybody, I'd bet the Jets. The Bills, I hate the Bills. The way quick fantasy story. I'm going to vent one time my bad beat story. I had the Buffalo defense.
Did he just say, I'm going to tell you my story, then leave? Great story.
Must have lost connection or something. Maybe his cat signed him out.
Cat stepped on the router.
This guy was like, let me tell you my bad beat story. Peace.
Oh, man.
He'll be back.
Oh,
he'll be
shit.
back.
Yeah, he'll come back.
If we're gonna go over the Bills, I mean, the problem I have with the betting this game is we have a new offensive coordinator, so I don't even know what to expect. If they can figure out how to make Josh Allen not turn the ball over like it's a fucking machine of doing so,
dude, my cat just said no bad beat stories. It stepped on
called it
on the keyboard as I'm about to tell a bad beat story. It said no.
Yeah, good. Chase, finish what you were saying. Then I want to hear Money's bad beat story. We still got about 10 minutes left before we got to wrap this up.
Yeah, the problem is, like I said, with the new offensive coordinator for the Bills, I don't know what I'm getting. If they can figure out how to shore up the turnovers, I mean, the Bills are infinitely better than the Jets offensively, so they could totally run this up. But turnover-prone offense against turnover-hungry defense, not in love with that either way.
Yeah, not a spot I'm willing to touch. Bills were a team I was extremely high on at the beginning of the season. Needless to say, they have let me down. Chris, where were you going before you decided to just bounce on us?
My cat said no bad beat stories. He's not going to let me do it. I've got a really big fantasy league, and I have a really big side bet playing this guy. I've got a 4-point lead going into Monday Night Football. I've got the Buffalo defense, and I've got Stephen
I've
Diggs,
heard this one.
and he's got Cam Sutton left. Somehow I end up losing. I don't know how I lost in this spot. According to the odds, I was like a 95% favorite. So I hate the Bills, and I hate Diggs, and I hate everything about this game.
I remember you texted me that Tuesday morning, whatever, and you talked to text it, and I was like, what the fuck did you just say? You had it all fucked up. Yeah, that was absolutely disgusting. This is why, I mean, Chris, we talked about it the other day. Like, you start betting like real money on sports, fantasy football becomes an issue.
I try to keep them separated, but it's tough.
I think
Joey's gone.
Yeah, he's froze over there. Maybe Josh Allen just needs to start dating Ariana Grande. They don't have enough people on their team dating pop stars, and maybe that'll turn it around for him.
I do have Travis Kelce on one of my teams. It's nice.
I stopped playing fantasy football when I started betting real money on sports for the simple fact that it would fuck. I'm just being honest here. It would fuck me up. Like, how do I bet the under in the Monday night game when my fantasy football team needs Bills defense and I need the 2 wide receivers to go over? Like it would start to fuck with my head, dude. I couldn't
You
do
don't
it.
All you
like to
gotta do is
fade
have a lot of
yourself?
catches. I mean, it's fine. I mean, my fantasy sports bets are much bigger than what I bet in games. So I do keep them separate for the most part.
I was gonna say, I'm opposite. My actual betting's way more than my fantasy shit. So I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck that.
Mine used to be, but now I'm in like one Bitcoin buy-in leagues and 5 and 10K side bets on the week. So I got to really focus on the fantasy side of things.
Yeah, I mean the boys are aware of what you do, Chris. I shared with them the 3, 4, 5 team parlays that were fucking riding on UCF on Saturday. This motherfucker won my yearly salary. My man.
Let's
That's
go.
it.
Hey, there were some good college picks.
Let's go.
Wow.
Hey,
Right.
we'll be running it back with Oregon State and
Miami.
Miami this week.
No doubt. No doubt. Find some more winners for the boys. Let's move on. Sunday night football. Mini at Denver. Denver minus 2.5. Team riding high right now. Am I the only one that likes Josh Dobbs and the Minnesota Vikings?
No, I'm a Dobbs truther, a Tennessee fan.
Let's go.
I thought I saw a report that
go.
Jaron Hall was starting.
I'm not buying the. I'm not believing that shit. I did see that. There's no way you bench Dobbs after what you did. No way. No
I think
way.
they just need to put the fucking cape on the guy.
I agree. Put the cape on him. He's the best. You got to take Dobbs.
Yeah, I agree. Is this a clean sweep across the board? Is this 5 for Mini?
No, I don't think I'm gonna follow any. I'm either gonna not bet or I'll be forced to play the Broncos. Sean Payton seems to have turned that ship and shit around. I don't know. Like the team's still not very good, just defensively. They're playing a lot better. Offensively, they still are kind of trash. Judy shows up every once in a while. I think they just got to give the ball to Williams a lot, but I don't know. Like it's kind of similar to what you guys are saying with the Texans. At some point, I mean, Minnesota, what is it, 4 or 5 in a row?
Something like that.
Yeah.
The line smells though. I mean, the minus 2.5.
All I'm
I don't
saying
know,
is
like,
Dobbs has got to get better, man. They gave him 8 minutes to review the playbook before the Falcons game, and he still won.
Yeah. Kmart, let's talk Sunday night. I'll book whatever you want. No juice.
No, I'm saying point wise, like it does favor like Minnesota. Like from everything I can see, I just don't like. It's not basketball. Like we're talking about 2 points. Is it really that big of a difference in the NFL?
Fucking huge. Absolutely.
College, yeah, because of 2-point conversions. They're more prevalent than the NFL, but I don't know. I feel like I'm in the mood to ride the Denver wave more so than the Dobbs wave. I'm kind of tired of the Dobbs story. It's more of a fade and a middle finger to what he's doing than
Dobbs about
anything
to
else.
shove it down Russell Wilson's fucking
Probably. Yeah. I mean, I was watching that game last week. Like he's a lot faster than I thought. His touchdown run was impressive.
He was electric. I loved him when he was a volunteer. I loved him. I
He's
like
a gamer.
Absolute.
J Buff agrees with me, so
tell Buff to get out of the fucking comments. Denver. Yeah, go to sleep, Buff. All right, let's move on. Monday Night Football, biggest game of the week. Eagles at KC, Kansas City minus 2.5. Let me just throw out there, the boss man did come in with, he is 10-0, and John Murray did give out the Kansas City Chiefs for his best bet to try and go 11-0 on the season. Any strong opinions here? My lean would also be to Kansas City. The thing that bothers me is this is a rematch of the Super Bowl, and I think the Eagles have fucking. I think the Eagles have fucking that on their mind, and they want some revenge. So this is going to be a stay away for me. But any strong opinions here? Let's start with Duke. What do you got?
Yeah, I lean your way too. That I haven't made a bet. I don't know if I will. The Andy Reid off a bye, the Mahomes under a field goal is absolutely fucking money. How do you not? They haven't looked good at all. I mean, losing to to Denver, and their offenses looked very suspect. So Eagles are the better team probably. It's just like it's fucking Mahomes and Reed. But if my mush comes in on the Chiefs, fly Eagles, fly.
You know where my money will be. Yep. Facts. Chaz, any final thoughts on this game real quick before we wrap up?
I have a strong opinion that I wouldn't bet this game with your money. No chance. There's way too many different angles to look at. There's a million different reasons to like both teams. I have no interest in betting this game.
Where's Taylor Swift going to be?
What?
Do what?
Where's Taylor Swift going to be?
Exactly. That's what I want to know.
Oh my God.
Kelsey's
Taylor
ass
Swift.
to the left.
Oh my God. Dude, I read earlier her parents and Kelsey's parents are
Yeah.
meeting at the game.
The parent
Oh,
reunion.
What a big moment.
Give me KC. Give me KC.
That's so sweet. Kmart, any final thoughts on this game before we wrap up?
I lean the Chiefs for sure. I mean, it's just crazy to me that we're talking about an 8-1 team and a 7-2 team, and both of them like probably aren't as good as their records indicate. At some point, Kansas City's defense is going to have a bad game. I think they're a lot better than they get credit for. Clearly, that's why they're 7-2 because their offense. It's Mahomes. That's all it is. It's Patrick Mahomes. He's clearly the best talent in the NFL. Like I don't even know if you can argue it. Like Justin Jefferson, but different position. But it's he changes the game so drastically. I do like Hurts, but clearly, with his knee, just doesn't look 100%. And I am a believer in this Chiefs defense. I mean, look what they did to the Dolphins. Like, A-Chain or not, he's a fucking rookie. Like, who gives a shit? Like,
I do. He's on my fantasy team, damn it.
no, but I mean, like,
Kmart.
My point is they would have shut him down too. Like, they're just well coached, and I think that's the angle: is sit back and enjoy Monday Night Football. It's going to be a hell of a show, and who knows? Maybe if a team gets up 10 and you get 10 points, that's the way you play it. Just live it, and that might be my angle to do it. Just get some extra value and just have some fun.
Yeah, I like that angle, but it doesn't help people like Cheese, whose max live wager is $25.
Dude, I have four bookies. I can't bet over $25 on any of them live. It's wild. They'll let me bet 10 grand, but I can't bet fucking more. I can't bet more than 25 live. It's wild. But listen,
That's
boys,
crazy.
let's wrap this up. Once again, listen, major shout out. WSOP main event champ, the man, Chris Moneymaker. Thank you so much for joining us. The boys had a blast talking football with you. We will resume this at a later date. Fade or follow. Hopefully y'all got some good info out of this. Fade you, 4 idiots. Duke, what happens in the NFL when you bet on shit?
Like Moneymaker said, crazy shit happens. So let's get some fucking